A man was walking down the street. Suddenly someone threw a grenade at him. Just as he was about to time it and throw it back, but the next day, the man miraculously came back to life. He put on the same blue shirt as yesterday and walked down the street again. And once again, but the man, Ted, kept coming back to life. One day, as he was walking down the street, a beautiful woman passed by. At first glance, he was smitten. He wanted to chase after her, but then, no matter how many times he died, he'd always wake up the next day like nothing happened. It turns out Ted was an NPC in a video game. In this game, players who wore glasses were real players, and those without glasses were NPCs. NPCs existed only to help players complete missions, but one day, Ted became self-aware. As usual, he waited for players to rob the bank. Soon enough, a group of robbers stormed in. Ted was so used to this routine that he casually started chatting with the security guard on the ground. Then, out of the corner of his eye, he spotted her, the woman of his dreams. According to the game's rules, NPCs without glasses were restricted, while players with glasses could roam freely. Determined to chase after his dream girl, Ted grabbed a player's glasses and accidentally killed the guy in the process. When Ted put on the glasses, he was stunned. The entire world around him changed. Buildings looked different, and the sky was full of flying objects. A medkit suddenly appeared next to him. Ted reached out and touched it, and the wounds from the recent fight instantly healed. Then, a player fell from the sky and died in front of him. Ted looked at the stack of cash hovering above the body. He reached out, and the money was instantly transferred to his account. Overjoyed with his newfound powers, Ted rushed to the store and bought a pair of shoes he'd always wanted. Meanwhile, the game company started getting countless reports from players. An NPC was breaking the game's rules and ruining their experience. The boss quickly ordered to players to enter the game and eliminate Ted. Realizing he was being hunted, Ted ran for his life. He looked down and noticed buttons on his new shoes. He pressed one, and suddenly he shot up into the sky, but his pursuers quickly caught up. Cornered, Ted made a desperate leap off a rooftop. Thankfully, he accidentally activated a power-up and survived. Before he could celebrate, his pursuers caught up and blasted him into oblivion. The two players thought they had finally taken care of Ted, but the next day, he respawned again. That day, Millie was on a mission when alarms started blaring. Out of nowhere, Ted came speeding in on a motorcycle, but the enemies were overwhelming. Millie pulled out her weapon to hold them off and even kicked Ted out of the way. Ted couldn't help but admire her bravery, a look of awe on his face, until her sudden kick snapped him back to reality. Working together, they fought off the attackers. Ted quickly hopped back on the motorcycle. Millie did a backflip and landed right in front of him. After a wild shootout, they escaped. In a final move, they worked together to spawn a plane and flew away. From that moment on, the two became close. They often ate ice cream together, played on the swings, and eventually they fell in love.